Hey you guys, good to see you here as always on the channel. I had to climb up inside of the 826C compactor just to get out of the wind so you guys could hear me, man. It is howling out there. Saturday afternoon, the landfill's been open for just a few hours this morning. But a couple of you guys asked me for a compactor video, and so you asked for it, that's what I'm going to give you. Figured we'd come up here, now would be a good time. We got a few loads left on the ground. There's one right over there. Got a load of sawdust right here, but figured it'd be a good time to come up here and just kind of go over some of the things about this specific machine while we don't have trucks coming in and you don't have the stress of trucks backed up. And I can kind of explain a little bit better about how to operate this machine and just show you a little bit more about the landfill. So I'm gonna jump out now, get her checked out. I'm pretty sure they serviced it after its shift today, but we're gonna check all the fluids. And then we're gonna go take out some aggression on some trash and crush some stuff. That wind is kicking out here today, you guys, and it's cold. About probably 40 something degrees. Gotta find us a good way to go down off this machine. Ladders don't last very long, or steps I should say, don't last very long on this equipment. This used to come down, I think it had a swinging step down here, but as you can imagine, dealing with construction and demolition debris, all that crap just comes up and it grabs those steps and rips them off within like the first hour of operation. But there's a load of sawdust we got, a load of shingles over there, and then just a mixed load of C and D. So what I want to try to do is clean this floor up a little bit and just help walk in this trash. We're making, for purposes of making a video and just helping some of this stuff not become so wind blown. Of course, I don't know if there's much we can do today. It must be blowing a good 25, 30 miles an hour right now, but just play around a little bit, make this video for you guys, get a little bit of work done at the same time. Let's climb up here and check our fuel. Hopefully it's full. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, completely topped off. Good job, guys. And these older model 826Cs don't have a digital fuel display in the dashboard. You just have to come out here and manually check it. Golly, man, that wind will cut right through you. Let's check our oil. Yep, oil level's good. Then we'll go ahead and turn on our master switch, give us some juice up to the cab and to the starter. Oh, I'm getting too old for this, you guys. Now we gotta just get our way right up here to the cab. Just make sure you hold on with 3 points of contact because it is a little dangerous way up here. Oh yeah, let's get in here where it's warm. And today would have been a real good day to wear a hat. Because, man, that wind, man, it has been awful this past week. We had the storms roll in, as you saw in the last video. And ever since then, it has just been windy like every single day. All right, so since she ran just a few hours ago, I can see that the temperatures are still up a little bit. So we won't have to let her up for too long, and she should, or let her warm up for too long, and she should fire right off. Let's see. Oh yeah. I love the sound of this old engine. This has got a cat 3406B, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how many horsepower is in this machine. Maybe some of you machine heads out there, if y'all know the horsepower of the 3406B, drop it in the comments down there below. But I know she is super strong, and this machine weighs right at 90,000 pounds, I think. So it's amazing that you can just move it around in the first place with these huge monster chopper wheels on it, much less be pushing an entire load of trash plus the weight of the machine. It's just absolutely amazing. And see, something's found our window up here. We replaced a lot of these side panels. The front panel, unfortunately, yeah, we got a crack in this one down here too, but stuff gets caught up in those wheels. Most of the time what does the damage to the windows is like fence pipe and stuff. It'll just wrap around the wheel, you don't know it, and it'll just come right up and slap you and break your windshield out. But just The amount of stuff that comes in this landfill is crazy. You never know what's coming in, and just part of the job, unfortunately. Stuff happens. So we'll go ahead and just use our blade lift control right here. Very simple. It's just a single stick forward. Obviously, you lowers the blade, pull it back to you. That's going to raise your blade up. So we'll go ahead, pull back on our handle. You can see our blade coming up there. We'll go ahead and raise it almost all the way up, just so we know we're not over there dragging around in the mud. And let's go find some trash to push, guys. And this particular model cat does have 4 gears, but nobody ever really comes out of first gear just because it's so damn bumpy. There's like 0 suspension on this machine. So in a construction and demolition landfill like we're in now, there's no sense in going fast, because you got concrete, you got stumps, you got who knows what, and it will beat you to death if you try to go in second gear. So we're just going to go, we're going to stay in gear 1, go ahead and go into reverse. We've already checked behind ourselves real good. We know there's nothing we're going to squish, and we're good to go. I'm not sure if they ran the Cat D6 today. A lot of times on Saturdays we just have kind of a skeleton crew. We just got one guy and a piece of machinery, which usually is the compactor, and then one guy on the floor directing traffic, just checking all the loads that come in. So not sure. It don't look like the dozer was ran today, just looking by the tracks behind it. So probably just ran this 826C here, and then again just the one guy on the ground directing traffic and checking all the trash. Just going to kind of roll up beside this load right over here just to see what we've got before we push it. Make sure there's nothing in there that we need to get out, any petroleum or pesticides, chemicals, anything bad that we're not supposed to be burying. This looks like just somebody did a garage clean out. I see an old bird cage there, old fake Christmas tree, a bunch of cardboard, some old 5-gallon buckets, maybe a old mattress pad of some sort there. So everything looks good. We'll continuously check too as we're pushing the loads, because a lot of times people will try to slip in stuff they're not supposed to be disposing of here. They try to hide it in the middle of the load, and so we find all kind of crap buried in the middle of some of these loads. But we'll get us turned around here and we'll push this first load. Uh-oh, as I was backing up, I kind of clipped the edge of that load, and that mattress pad grabbed onto the wheel and came with us. So we got to get it back under the tire. All right, let's back up. We'll have to drop our blade a little bit early because I didn't want that to come with us, but it did. I'll go ahead and throw her in forward, and I'm going to try to do my best to film and drive. But what I like to do anytime I'm pushing a load, I'll go ahead and drop my blade all the way to the ground. I can feel it hit, and then I'll just pick it up 4 to 6 inches or something like that, especially way out here on the tipping floor, because I don't want to take that dirt away from the tipping floor, because that's what the trucks have to come in here to drive on. So we're trying not to take too much of the floor with us as we're pushing, so we can kind of ensure us doing that by lifting that blade up a couple inches off the ground. And then when it grabs the trash like it is now, we can just take and use the trash almost like a rake or a broom, and we can sweep the floor with it, as long as it doesn't find its way up underneath the blade. And if some of the trash does find its way under the blade, we can kind of see it. We can lower our blade just a little bit, or we can back up, come back and grab that waste and try again, because inevitably, the idea is for trash to go under the blade and the wheels catch it and of course compact it. This compactor's got the straight blade on it. I like my U-blade better, because you can see some of the trash has found its way around the edge of the blade. I like that U-blade because it kind of holds everything in front of the machine while I'm pushing. And we're just going to carry this blade full right on what do we call the working face. So all that whole area up there is our working face, and that's just what we call the area where we're actively pushing trash to and trying to compact it and, you know, get it to stay in that one place nice and compacted. So we're gonna kind of just keep adjusting, bumping our blade up as we need to. You kind of got to just feel the machine when it starts to, you know, come under strain. You can tell you're either pushing too much trash or too much dirt, just too much weight in general, and that's when you just want to kind of come up on that blade a little bit. We're going to go ahead and start giving her a little bit more throttle as we get on this incline. Then once we are on our working face, what I'm going to do is start really bumping this blade up a good bit more, because now I want the trash to fall underneath the blade, because this is going to be its final resting place. So I'm going to keep lifting that blade up, and then you can see the trash start to fall under the blade, which of course then is going to go under our four wheels and get broken up and get compacted in. And since we're trying to work on this slope a little bit today too, and we only got just a few loads that, you know, need to be pushed, we'll go ahead and walk or drive walking the trash in. That's kind of terminology we use, walking the trash in, but that's kind of confusing. We're not going to walk up here. We're going to drive up to the top of the working face slope, just so we can get some additional compaction up here to make it easier for when Aaron next week wants to get this trash covered. Once it's nice and compacted and smooth, it'll make it a lot easier for him to spread his dirt on top of. When you get big, bulky stuff like that you see on the outside of the wheel, really about the only thing you can do with it, and I'll show you guys real quick, we'll see if we can do it, is we're going to drop our blade a little bit. We're going to turn towards that material, and there's a little hole. I don't know if you can see it really good or not. There's a little hole right just a couple of feet away from it. Sorry about the camera work, it's bumpy as all get out. And we're just going to kind of flip that into that little depression there and run over it with our wheels a couple of times and see if we can get it to smash down, because that's definitely not stuff you want on top of your working face when they come to put the cover. Because what will happen is that bulldozer pushing that dirt, that blade's going to grab that carpet or fabric or, yeah, this kind of crap right here that's trying to wrap around my wheel right now. That blade of that bulldozer is going to grab that junk, and it's going to mess up your whole cover efforts. And better not wrap around my wheel, because I do not feel like cutting out carpet around the wheel. A lot of times junk like this will get wrapped around your axle. Man, we've had some absolute nightmare wrap-ups. You get chain link fence, you get especially that ductwork, it's got that wire in it, that cable, fabric, you name it, it'll get wrapped so tight, it'll just keep wrapping around those axles. We've had to get in there and cut fabric out with a torch before, because you know, we dulled I don't know how many knives and razor blades. You just can't get some of that crap out of there. We had to actually physically cut it out, or burn it out, I should say. Cutting torch it out, you know what I meant. Let's go back here and grab that stupid mattress thing right there, because it rolled up under the blade on me again. And because we have that straight blade on, you can see all the trash that came around the side. That U-blade works a lot better, especially when somebody dumped this load really way too far out on the tipping floor. So when you're trying to carry it all the way up there, and it has the ability to go around the side of that blade, it can be quite a pain in the ass. So I wish we had that U-blade on here. The U-blade's just like it's described, it's just cupped like that. And so all the trash stays within the blade for the most part, or at least a lot better than the straight blade. And drop our blade. I'm going to leave it pretty much down to the ground on this push, because we kind of left a little bit too much out here on the tipping floor. And again, whoever dumped this load really didn't dump it in the right spot. This looks like probably one of those cases where the guy came in right at 12 o'clock as we were closing down, and just kind of went ahead and dumped without somebody telling him exactly where to dump. So it is what it is. We'll deal with it. We got it. We got a good, feels like a pretty good push going on right now. Probably taking a little bit of dirt with us, but we got to kind of clean this floor up, get it ready for Monday. Looks like we got a little bit of wire in this load too, so we're gonna have to kind of really watch that. Make sure that doesn't wrap up around our wheel. And I got a little bit too much dirt, so I'm just gonna keep bringing that blade up, trying to let a little bit of that dirt pass, but still trying to keep my trash in front of the blade as well. I think we're doing okay. It's just a constant, you know, up down with that blade, just kind of feeling that ground run beneath you. We're going back down with it now. And as soon as we make it to the working face, we're kind of out of the danger zone as far as taking too much dirt with us off of the tipping floor itself. And so we're pretty good to go now. Now we're just going to kind of let that trash slowly fall up underneath the wheel so that we lay out a thin layer of waste, and that way the wheels, you know, can compact it a lot better versus if you just kind of let it out in big thick wads. You don't get the penetration with these chopper wheels like you want to get. And we're going to go ahead and drive on up to the top again just to try to compact this stuff down real good for Aaron next week. Make life a little bit easier on those guys when they come to put the dirt on the side slope. We got a lot of bulky stuff up here though. That's really not good. What we need to do is get some good demolition material next week. Bring it up here and get it on top of that fabric type material. Just kind of help to pack it down and make a flatter surface so that soil, when they do put the cover down, can spread a lot easier. And like I told you guys a while ago, you don't want it grabbing the blade, just messes up the whole process. Well, we'll see how this goes. Just got the drone up in the air, but it's so damn windy. So I got a warning saying that if the battery died or whatever, if it needed to return home by itself, it couldn't. So I got to kind of hurry up and get this drone footage real quick. But figured what we'd do now, since we got that one load of trash taken care of off the tipping floor, pushed up and compacted, now we can go over here and mess around with this sawdust a little bit, or wood chips, whatever this stuff is right here. And I tell you what, this is actually a great material to kind of just spread out right here on the floor, because it actually will help us, you know, give us a little bit of cover out on some of the trash. So what we're going to do is just kind of come in with the corner of the blade right here. We're just going to kind of just spread this out, all this general little area right here, cover up some of this trash. So I'm going to come into it, grab a bite, and then just slowly raise my blade up, and we will just kind of spread this out all right here. And this will be nice material for the trucks to back up on versus just old exposed trash. So it's just some free cover materials, what we're going to use it as right now. That wasn't too bad. It's hard to spread. You can do a lot better with the bulldozer, but you can do it with the compactor too. And also, I see a tire up there. We got to get that out. We're not allowed to bury tires here in our landfill. We can, but I think they have to be reduced to like 1/6 of the size. They got to be cut up into 6 pieces. All right, let's grab us another little bite right here. We'll just kind of slowly go with it and just kind of watch it. See if we can't just spread it out right over top of the trash, just like so. I'll just keep raising that blade up until we don't have any more. We can't see anymore in the blade. We know it's all passed under, and hopefully it's spread out decently. Again, you know, you can do this a lot better with the bulldozer, because I don't have any tilt capability with this blade. You can't see your edge, your cutting edges all that well. So we're just kind of going with feel on this one. That ain't too bad right there, is it? Now tell you what, let's go ahead and get ourselves turned around, and we'll take the rest of that material that's on the floor and we'll bring it back out around this way, because this is actually where all the trucks are going to come anyhow. So I'm going to get us backed up, turned around, and we will push it right out to the middle of the tipping floor there. And these compactors do not turn around on a dime, even though they articulate in the middle. It takes a little bit of finagling to get one turned around in a small space. It's just such a huge machine. Okay, now we're lined up pretty good. Come over here, and about 2 passes, we should have all of this sawdust spread out. Lower my blade, raise it up a couple inches, give her some gas, and we pushing now, folks. Raise that blade up gently a little bit. All right, might have laid it down a little bit thick on that one, but that's okay. Yeah, we did. We laid it out a little bit thick, but no harm, no foul there. Let's go ahead and drop our blade back down. Trying to hold the GoPro, look out for my drone, push this load all at the same time. So y'all just got to bear with me, man. I'm doing the best I can. I can barely chew gum and walk at the same time, much less 3 and 4 things, but that push, that seemed to have gone a little bit smoother there. I think we laid that out a lot nicer. We'll see in just a second here. Let's just keep driving forward. We'll just look back Yeah, a lot better. We got to go back and catch that one little or two little ridges that we left. But other than that, that's how you can use you know, waste material as something beneficial. So we don't have to go mine, you know, dig up extra dirt that doesn't need to be dug up. Use what you got to try to make the best of it and save the natural resources as best we can. So anytime we got material like this coming in, chips or hay, or a lot of times people do throw away good dirt and they pay us to take it. So make the use of it. We'll put it out here on the floor, spread it out nice like that, and the trucks will have a better place to back up on and dump trash. Go over here and knock this little ridge down real quick. Then I think the only thing we got left is one load of shingles, yeah, right over there, that we got to go push. And the corner of my blade dug in a little bit too deep on that one, so we spread it a little bit thin. It's feast or famine around here, guys. We were spreading it too thick or too thin, but nonetheless, it's going to work out just fine as long as we get it spread out somewhat decent on the floor. Now you can see we still got those ridges right there. There's nothing we can do about that other than we can do a little trick called back dragging. And what we'll do is take this blade, we'll go up there, drop it on the other side of that ridge, and then we can go in reverse and use our blade to back drag the material out pretty smooth. That way we're going against that cutting edge, and we're not cutting into the trash. So the bottom of that blade's tapered like that. So we're just kind of smoothing it out. Well, if I quit talking and drop my blade, we'd be smoothing it out. We got our blade on the ground now, so we're just going to drag that material right back with the blade. Gives you a little bit smoother finish because you're not pushing, you're not cutting with that blade. So there you can see what the back drag is going to do for you. Go up here and hit it one more time with the back drag, and the sawdust too is going to help absorb a lot of that moisture. We got just tons and tons of mud up here still from all that rain. So the sawdust will help suck up some of that moisture, and then tomorrow, Sunday, will obviously be closed. And hopefully the sun will come out, and with this wind, we can get this tipping floor dried out a lot quicker. Our blade is for sure on the ground now because I just dropped it all the way and felt it hit. So what I'll do now is just bump it up a little bit if I feel like I'm pulling too much material. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that over again because when I picked it up a little bit too much. Kind of missed a spot right there. Let's come back in here, drop this blade again. Then we're back in reverse. Give her some gas. I'll raise up just a hair. And there we go. Now we're pulling some pretty good material. I felt her struggling a little bit. Now we can blade it right on out and have a nice, smooth dumping lane for trucks when they show up on Monday. Then when we get so far back and we know we've got good coverage, and I'm just going to start slowly raising that blade up, letting that material just gently fall out from under there, smoothing it out and leaving us a really nice dumping lane right there. That looks good. I'm looking up there from a drone. I don't see it anymore. I'm going to back up here to the truck and hopefully it came home. If not, we're going to have to go on a drone rescue again, I guess. Yeah, I don't see it. Hopefully it's still got a little bit of battery left. That's one of the drone little Mavic Minis. So it's a little bitty old thing. Kind of hard to spot in the sky anyway. Well, let's go see. Hopefully I ain't done lost another drone. I don't do too good. Oh, hey, check it out. It did come back and land. Hey, good boy. I was getting really worried there, to be honest. So I think this is like my third drone. I've got one video where it went miles and miles away. Aaron had to go find it with his drone, but hey, good job, buddy. I'm proud of you. You came back. Okay, we're over here at the pile of shingles now. Obviously, I'm just checking it out just to see what all is in it. This is a super common shingle load right here, just all the old shingles off the roof, your nail buckets, always a couple of pallets, usually some tar paper somewhere in here. Yeah, there's a roll of tar paper. But we get probably, I don't know, 25 to 30, maybe more loads like this in a day. And shingles are great material, you know, they compact well. The problem with them is, especially in the summertime, they kind of melt together and they become just this huge blob that's really hard to push, hard to get them to separate out and spread them out. So that's why we've designated this little area over here. This is just kind of a hole that we're using to fill with some big bulky materials. And all you guys are asking about those rolls right there, that is the ends off of these huge monster fiberglass rolls. That's the ends that they chop off of each roll, I guess, you know, to get them to the exact length. Mattresses, everybody, if you work in a landfill, mattresses are like #1 on the most hated list. They wrap up around the compactor wheels. They obviously don't compact. Everybody hates mattresses, but we're going to take these shingles, just pretty much just shove them right off the edge there, utilize this hole, get all of our bulky uncompactable stuff down on the bottom, then push good trash out on top of it. That'll just help squish it down more and really give us a compaction. About the only thing you can do with this real bulky stuff to get the best compaction as possible. Yeah, these shingles love to stick together, man. Wintertime, they're not too bad, but boy, July, August, when the temperatures are spiking, this thing's like trying to push just a big old wad of boogers, for lack of better word, man. They just stick together and will not come apart. Wad of boogers, golly. Is that the best narrative I can come up with? I'm sorry, you guys. I've got issues. Like, that's the best term. That's the only thing that would come to me at the time was boogers. Golly, what in the world? I don't know. Nonetheless, we got those shingles mostly pushed off the edge. I'm not going to get too close to the edge because it's Saturday. I'm up here by myself just so I can make this YouTube video for you guys and tidy up a little bit. And that's when bad stuff happens. So I'm not going to risk it because I got a cold beer with my name on it down at the house. And we're going to leave those shingles just right where they are. Our drone came back to us, thank goodness. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, man. It's I tell you what, our little channel has really grown, and I thank you guys. I really, from the bottom of my heart, I really do. All the new subscribers and everybody that leaves a comment, like, that's probably my favorite part of the whole thing, is getting y'all's comments and hearing where you're from. We've had people from Scotland, from Finland, New Zealand, just all over the world. And I think that is it just blows my mind. It's just so amazing the reach that a YouTube channel can have. But it just means the world to me. All of y'all dropping your comments, telling me where you're from, just saying hey. So thank you guys, sincerely. I really do appreciate it. So hopefully this video was worth watching. I know we're just kind of messing around with the compactor, but you know, you guys had asked for the 826C video, so I wanted to come up here and at least show you guys my appreciation. And I do read the comments and I write back to all of them personally, and just, you know, you guys ask for it, I'm gonna do my best to make it. So if there's any other videos that you want to see, drop it in the comments down there below. And if you like this video, consider subscribing. It's free. Just click that little button down there. You can hit the notifications bell. I'm going to try to do a better job of getting more regular content out to you guys every Friday morning, at least more if I can. But other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Appreciate your support. I'll see you on the next video. That's a wrap, folks.